My name is Jaideep. So in this video I will be explaining Cassandra Java assignment, which has two parts as part of the DataStax tutorials. So for sake of assignment, I've installed Cassandra in my local machine with IntelliJ IDE and the relevant Java drivers. So let me start Cassandra assign instance. So as you see, the Cassandra instance has begun. Let me also start the SQL. So SQL Sharp is also up and running. I'll explain the code of Cassandra Java before getting into the code. The Cassandra Java has external libraries, external drivers which have included in my code, and I've created two classes, Cassandra Java 1 and Cassandra Java 2, which are for two tutorials respectively. As you look at the code, I have imported few drivers, data stack drivers for the code to run, and the first class is Cassandra Java 1, which is a first tutorial. And if you look at the code, we have two instances, cluster and session. The cluster is an instance of the cluster class and session is instance of the session class. And I'm creating a contact point which is 127.0.0.1 to connect to the cluster and build it. Similarly, the session would connect to the key space assignment 1. And if you look at the code, CQL is similar to SQL, so we can insert a table the same way we usually do it in SQL as well. So with the session instance which is created, we are running a SQL code insert query into the users table, which has user ID, last name, age, and the other values as well. And we have a select statement similar to the SQL query as well. And for that we are using result set class, which will return the rows of the relevant query, and we are executing that is select start from users, which will return all the users. And after that we are iterating with a for loop and printing all the first name and the age of that relevant table. And we have the update and delete statement similarly, and we are closing the connection after at the end of the code. Let me just comment the update and the delete so that we can look at the code as we run. So I already created a key space, so the assignment 1 key space is yet to be created. I already have the code, so I'll just run the relevant assignment 1 key space. So we have create key space assignment 1, which will create a key space with the name assignment 1, and the class it's a simple strategy. There are two classes available, that is simple strategy and network topology. Simple strategy is just for one data. If we have one data center, in our case that's why we are using simple strategy. And if for an enterprise level scenarios, we would probably go with the network topology. And the replication factor 3 means that there are 3 copies of each row in a different node as a replica. Let me run this. So yes, let us check. So we have the key space assignment 1. Let me also create a table, users. Okay, let me use the assignment 1. So as you see, we have created a table. Let me do a select query to check. yes, we have an empty table with all the relevant variables, and this is a similar query. We have user id, which an int, and I am making user id as the primary key. Let me go back to the code now that we have the table. So now that we have our key space, we can run the code to insert a query, to insert a row. The values are 1 to 1 Jones and so on. Let me just run the code. So as you see, new Cassandra host has been added, and we have, this is the result of the select query. That is the first name and age, Bob and 35, as we have here, Bob and 35. We can even confirm it by running the query here. As you see, the row has been inserted. Let me just go and uncomment this update statement where we are updating the age, where user id is 1 to 1. So I'm updating the age to 36. Let me just run the code again. So as you see, Bob 35 and changed to Bob 36. I think we can go back and check the query as well. It's updated. Similarly, I will just uncomment the delete and run it again to show you that it has deleted. Okay, let me just see that. Yes. So we have here deleted the row successfully. So this is the first part. As we go to the second part of the tutorial, it's the same way. So these are the few imports which we have. It's the same code, but we have but for the second tutorial we are adding a failover and new load balancing policy as well. So as you look at the cluster.builder, this part was similar to the first tutorial where we are creating a builder and adding a contact point to our cluster, but we are adding a retry policy. Retry policy would ensure that we have a backup, or we have a failover when there is a timeout or if a node is unavailable. Similarly, we have a load balancing policy to determine which node to run the query. In this case, we are using round robin policy, which was default from the tutorial, and dot build would build the cluster similarly, and then we are connecting to our key space assignment one, and we are using prepared statement here, which is part of the query builders of SQL. So prepare statement is a more sophisticated and secure way of querying, instead of directly using SQL in the Java, in the Java code. So we are using a more secure way where the prepare statement only needs to be parsed by the cluster once, not multiple times. So if you look at the code, we have insert into users where we have all the variables and which are not bound, and we are binding these variables to the values, and we are running this query. So similarly, I have commented the update, and let me comment the delete as well. So we have commented the update and the delete statement, and we have the insert the same way where we're inserting a row. Let me just run this query and see. Okay, the row is inserted. Let me just check with equal sharp. Yes, age 36, Austin Bob. So let me just uncomment the update statement as well really quick. And I am updating the age to 39 now from 36. So Bob 36 to Bob 30. Let me check. Okay. So there is another update. My bad. So this has to be 1 to 1. Let me just run the query again. Looks like work now. Yes, so the one-to-one user ID has been updated from 36 to 39. I didn't change it before, so a null row has been inserted. And let me just uncomment the delete. And it's okay. Let me just delete the 111 null row which I created. Let me run this and let's see. Yeah, and the null row has been deleted. So that's it for the Java Cassandra assignment. Thank you.